2023 Trek Madone SLR 9 in a size 54, weighing in at 17 pounds 6 ounces, and in kilos at 7.88 kilos. Stay tuned to the after video where you're free to buy contest on these Bontrager SLR wheels right here. Thank you. Hey, how's it going, everyone? GC Performance here, back with another video, and today I have for you guys something very, very special. This is the brand new 2023 Trek Madone SLR 9. This is their generation 7 of the Madone. Lots of big changes to it. They have the brand new ISOFlow. I just want to say, first and foremost, big shout out to the customer who went ahead and brought over here to me to do a video on it. If he wants me to, I will have his information or Instagram down here, the tag below. But the bike is absolutely sick. I wanted to get this bike in my hands. I wanted to kind of give you guys a real world weight of this bike with pedals, with cages, with the lights on there that I gave you. So the weight that I gave you at the beginning of the video is the weight with everything on there, as you see. And for a full-on Aero race bike, now that we see the world of disc brakes, now that we're all kind of comfortable with what the weights are, that is not a bad weight of everything on here. Granted, this is their top tier bike that they make for the Madone with their top line carbon, but the bike looks insanely nice. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get into the video and talk about what Trek changed from generation 6 to generation 7, and then we'll go over the whole parts that this bike came spec'd with, because this is a stock bike that you guys can find on Trek's website for this bike. Again, this bike is like $13,200 out the box. So absolutely beautiful build. So first thing that you guys will definitely notice is that the Madones now do not have the ISO-speed decoupler anymore. They removed it from the rear. They went ahead and implemented something called the new ISOFlow. They say it's more aerodynamic here. It clears up a lot of that dirty air that goes through the rider or through the bike frame. It's going to allow it to come out much more aerodynamically, and also makes the bike much more sturdier. With this design, you can see the seat post kind of sits above this kind of ISOFlow cutout. They said this will add suppleness or add compliancy vertically to make it a little bit more comfortable. So you're not sitting on top of a rigid post. You have a little bit of comfort. You can kind of see how it sticks out. So not only are you getting the aerodynamic benefit of this, but you're also getting some comfort from it as well. And with removing this frame material here, and with removing the ISOFlow, you're getting a lighter weight bike from the factory. So a lot of people are going to like that, especially, like I said, the Madone is known for their aero bike. It's known for a race bike. Nowadays, you know, if you want comfort, these bikes come with wide enough tires that you can kind of go ahead and make it comfortable. You can make it tubeless if you want to. There's no need for these ISO speed decouplers in the rear on a race bike that's going to maybe fail later on down the road. You just have a nice carbon fiber frame manufactured. So I like the look of this frame design a lot. It's very rigid looking. It's very fast looking. You can see here, Trek utilized the new UCI rules, allowing the head tube to be much deeper to give more aerodynamic look to it, allowing the bottom bracket to look much more deeper. I mean, this thing looks like a TT bike down here, how much carbon is here. It's insane. Look at that. Here's my hand for reference. That's a massive area of carbon. So again, something smooth, something with carbon fiber here. This will allow for less dirty air in this area. If you had a bigger hole here, I like how they came up more. I like how they drew this out more. It looks very, very good. Again, you can see right here, you have the Madone logo. We have the SLRs. Again, this is their SLR 9. This is their 800 series carbon fiber, OCLV. And then not only did they do all this, they have a nice little Madone logo here, but they changed up the cockpit, they changed the cable routing, and they put on their own OCLV carbon fiber one-piece bar and stem with a nice little nod to the Madone right there. I think it looks very clean. Now this bike is a size 54. Like I mentioned, it's a medium-sized bike, but the stock handlebar and stem that came on here, you're gonna see a lot more trends come out here. The upper of these handlebars are 38 centimeters center to center. So very aerodynamic, very tucked in, but on the drops, if you want a little bit more stability, you have, I think these go to a 42 right here. So that's a nice piece of equipment right there. The cables are still ran internally through the handlebar, through the stem, and down here. So it will be kind of, well, obviously it's a one-piece carbon fiber bar and stem. If you want to change out the stem, that would be kind of expensive. You have to talk to your Trek dealer, but it is what it is. But I do like the new integrated Madone handlebar and stem piece. I feel like it looks much more sleeker, much more lighter as well. Trek did a good job of shaving off a lot of dead weight that was on the older Madones. But man, that bike looks absolutely beautiful. This is a Project 1 color. They do have other colors as well. And not only that, Trek has, I believe, 8 sizes to choose from for this bike. So if you guys can't figure out your bike size, they have a lot of bike choices and a lot of sizes for any kind of consumer that's looking for it. From extra small or extra small to double XL. So that way you guys can find one. But without further ado, let me get into the whole bike and talk about the exact parts that come on here. So starting off with the cockpit, this is new carbon fiber Trek Madone Integrated bar and stem combination, full carbon fiber. You have the Madone symbol in front, 38 centimeters side to side. I believe this is a 110 cockpit as well. You do have on here the integrated Garmin mount and light mount that you can go ahead. He does have a Garmin 1000 he puts on here, and you can run a headlight on here on the bottom as well. They are running their own bond trigger handlebar tape. And then for the group set that comes on here is going to be SRAM Red Access ETAP. 12 gears in the rear, 2 in the front. Very, very reliable. It is a wireless shifting. You have 2 batteries, 1 on the front mech, 1 on the rear mech as well. And these are carbon fiber shifters. You can see right here we have some spacer systems right here. I want to say they have a breakaway. Yes, they do. They do have a breakaway system in case you want to lower the stem to make it a little bit better, easier riding. And you can see they have a different top cap on here too. That way you don't have to cut the fork completely. You can figure out where you want the stem to be. You can figure out where you want your bike height to be before you go ahead and make any kind of drastic cuts. And then once you're figured out, you can cut off the knob on top. In the front here, we have the new Trek Madone logo. And then on the tire size, I believe these tires are a 700 by 25C. I think the new Madone can take up to a 700 by 28 or 30C. That's what they're recommending. Again, they're not doing any crazy wide like a 35 or 32. They're just kind of sticking with the 30 is more than enough on a high-end race bike. That's all you need really. For the wheels, they have on here the Bontrager ELITEWHEELS RSL 51. These are the top tier flagship wheels that Bontrager makes. 51 millimeter depth, full carbon fiber wheel. You do have bladed spokes and then Trek's own RSL hubs. Very similar to like Revol or all these other brandings. Usually just a DT Swiss internal inside. But you can see here that spindle is very skinny in the middle. Again, shaving off weight. But a 51 millimeter depth wheel is very nice for an Aero bike, which I like a lot. The tires as well have the skin wall. The customer did say he prefers different tires in there, but that's either here or there. These are very, very fast race tires. For the rotors, it's a 160 millimeter front rotor here with the adapter, so you can run a 140 if you wanted to. You do have a through axle on here, a 12 by 100 through axle for the front wheel. We have a red paint on the outside. We have a matte black paint on the inside. We have a beautiful Trek logo going down the middle. And then again, like I said, the bottom bracket. The Madones are updated now with the T47 bottom bracket. So it is a threaded bottom bracket close to the frame. This bike comes stock with the SRAM Dub bottom bracket. It is not ceramic, but you can add a ceramic BB to it later on. Going to the other side on here, this customer has black burn cages, carbon fiber, onesie twosies. Number 7. I don't know what that. I don't know what number 7 is meaning. If that's either meaning for the 7th generation, or if they're actually doing like number 7 of the bike. I don't think so, but it is what it is. We have a chain catcher here, so that way the chain does not drop when you ship down to the bottom in case it wasn't adjusted right. For the cranks on here, we have a SRAM Red carbon fiber crank arm, 172.5 with a SRAM Red chain ring, 48 by 35 tooth chain ring. We have a SRAM Quark power meter. Compatible bike right here as well. And then for the paint job, it is, like I said, an all gloss red with the white, and then on the top we have a matte black with the Madone finish for the saddle. The seat height you do have to get fitted to, and then you're gonna have to cut it down to whatever you like as well. For the front mech, we have a SRAM Red front mech, SRAM 12-speed axis flat top chain, and then the rear cassette is gonna be a 10 tooth on the bottom, a 33 tooth on top. Very good gear range, 48, 35, 10, 33. You can climb mountains with that, and you also can go pretty fast downhill with it as well. We have the SRAM Red Axis rear mech right here as well. And we have a nice little Project 1 logo. We have the Trek team name on the side here. Nice little close-up shot of this ISOFlow. Looks butter. Just for reference, I can't get my hand through there. So if you guys are trying to do stuff with your hand there, you can't do that. We do have a Bontrager light in the back here. And then the wheels, like I said, are the exact same wheels at the front. The Bontrager ELITEWHEELS RSL 51s. Same depth, they're not staggered rim depths on here. For the rear, rotor comes stock with a 160 millimeter SRAM Red rotor. We do have an adapter, so if you were to remove this, you can run 140 front and rear like I know a lot of people do. The pedals are going to be a Look Keel blade with a ceramic bearing inside here as well, and a carbon fiber blade to go ahead and clip you in and out with no spring. For the saddle on the last part, this is going to be the Bontrager ELITEWHEELS RSL, top tier saddle they make, carbon fiber rails, carbon fiber body, nice wide cutout. And now I'm going to tell you something that I heard from a Trek guy, and take this with a grain of salt. Trek is making this wider up here because of the fact that they say that more people sit more closer to the tip of the nose saddle, so they're actually trying to accommodate more people sitting in the middle of the saddle. That's what they told me. Take it for a grain of salt. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for the free body sound test after the video. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, here comes the free body sound test on the Bontrager ELS RSL 51 wheels. Very nice.